Hello and Happy New Year once again. It's Steve's Vintage Mono Builds. Thanks for everyone who's stopping by. Um, I guess the video I did on New Year's Day, it's had some views, and not a lot, but hey, whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, just be aware. The beginning part there, uh, there's going to be some commentary on what's going on in Iran. Uh, but but then there's the little starting the Mania hobby, Nakajima Kate, which is a very nice kit. It's a really nice little kit. Um, it's still available through Hasegawa, not the two bomber set, but the bomber itself. Although I don't know, one set might have both the B1 and B2 or BN1 and BN2 engines. But I think the most recent one just has the BN2 engine, which was much more powerful and is a little bit more. The only thing one reviewer seemed to have a bit of problem with fit. I haven't actually put it together yet. Certainly with the cockpit, everything went in perfectly. It's a lovely little thing, and I've got it primed now, and I'm going to detail it in the next little video. And so I appreciate everybody who stops in if you're interested in that, and just kind of mindless. And if you're having trouble, go to sleep. Stop by the channel. Okay, so so I'm going to turn it around, and I'm gonna, well, to start with. I think it was last Friday. I think it was Boxing Day. I opened a fortune cookie, and we had Chinese food that had been made by Filipinos, and it was very good. And anyway, so got a fortune cookie, and I opened the fortune cookie, and I mean, this is an old one, and it's an old classic, but it's amazing it's still around. And the fortune cookie message read, "You will live in interesting times." Well, now, yes, I certainly have, and living them right now, along with a lot of other folks. Um, not to reflect too far back on it, but I'm 64 years old, and I remember the space race. I remember most of the Apollo missions, both before and after the moon landing, and um, the I guess onslaught might be too strong a word, but the computer age, which was really ushered in by Apollo. And so anyway, so from there to where we are today, big events in Venezuela, and I'm going to have a few things to say about that at the end, as well as a bit of an update on what's going on in Iran. Anyways, if you're not interested in that stuff, I got a kit review today. If you are interested in that stuff, I'd like you to watch the video, but if you want to forward to the end, I'll put the time in the description there. So yeah, but that'll be at the end, and it won't be long. So anyway, so this came down the river Amazon today, and it's this. At least they didn't stick the stupid sticker right on the box. I hate it when they do that. So, and I have to apologize. It's washing day today. It's Saturday, and so you might hear some thumping and churning and whirling and stuff like that. I apologize. Okay, so we'll get rid of that, and this cost me about, I think it was about $26. And the reason I got it was I told you it's your fault, Sinzan. Zinzan of Zinzan Scale Modeling he started the Westland, the Airfix 148 Westland Lysander kit, and as always, doing a very meticulous and excellent job with it. If you aren't aware of his channel or haven't stopped by there before, I encourage you. That's Zinzan, Zin, Scale Modeling, and he also has is it a Patreon? No, Substack. He has a Substack as well, on which he writes on a variety of subjects. So definitely worth the time. And again, Peter Oxley's Modeling Lab, Peter Oxley, and Peter Goes Rogue. Those are two channels that are certainly worth a look. And yeah, so and at the end, it's just going to be mostly facts, not much opinion. But anyways, if it is, I'll say so. Okay, so yeah, so I watched a video, I guess a little before Christmas, where he started the kit, and I knew it was a nice kit, in a large part because of Peter Oxley's review of it, as well as what I heard out in the community. Unlike some other kits that Airfix released this year, this one went off without a hitch from start to finish, and it's a beautiful kit. So anyways, and I had my eye on it, but it was about $100 Canadian here, which I guess maybe is what, I don't know, however many pounds. Anyways, and it was a little more than I wanted to spend, and it's not like I'm desperate for model kits. So anyways, yeah, I kept my powder dry. And then I saw his video, so then I had to go on to Amazon and see what was up. I knew Matt didn't have it in the shop, although he can often order stuff for me, almost anything, any 3D prints too. So if you're thinking about having something 3D printed, check with your local hobby shop. A lot of them have their own 3D printers now, and they either have their own programs for printing, or if you send them the program, off of Etsy or wherever you get these things, I have no idea. Well, I guess you get them off Etsy and places like that. Then they'll often be able to print whatever you want, and it's just a time and materials thing. So give that a try if you're interested in some 3D figures. So anyways, yeah, so the Westland Lysander, so I looked it up, and it was 30% off. So I don't know, it was like maybe even more. It was like $55, so almost half price. And so I ordered it, and it's coming from the UK, so it probably won't be here maybe for another week or two. I know it's shipped, and however long it takes. Usually it's about 2 weeks, but you never know these days, especially when you're dealing with government-run so-called logistics companies. Anyways, okay, so we've got the Citroen Traction 11CV, and this is a real classic World War II car. Here it is. I realized I should have turned the camera down. Okay, so as always, I'm very proud of our highest quality, our high quality production values here at the channel. I can assure you that we only hire top graduates from the most elite schools, and I'm very happy to say that certainly shows up in our production values. Wink. Okay, so yeah, so here we go. We've got the Citroen Traction. So let me we'll go where we need to go here, and I will do a bit of zoom. That's too much. That should be good. Here we go. Okay, and that's comfortable for me too. So this is Tamiya, especially for a kit like this, they wouldn't shrink wrap a kit like this. They only have a few where they shrink wrap them, and most of them are aftermarket. The Porsche 911 was factory shrink wrapped, and I think too the Senna McLaren. So even the big Tomcat late model carrier launch set, it didn't. Yeah. So anyway, so at least, like I say, they stuck the sticker on here and not on the box. That's just irritating. So we'll open up the plastic here and we'll take a look and see what we got. There we go. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, we got the Citroen, huh? Traction 11 CV staff car. 148 scale. 4 types of markings, including German Wehrmacht, French Army, and French Civilian. It's kit number 32517. And yeah, the reason for the story about the Lysander was that, of course, the Lysander was a special operations plane when it was used. It didn't do too well. Dunkirk and stuff, when the Germans were overrunning France, they had a terrible time, but they were doing something they weren't designed to do. However, they sure found their home in spy planes and flying agents in and out, and even doing the occasional bombing runs. So anyways, I figured I'd put these two together, and hopefully I can scare up some figures for each of those. Okay, so here we go. And as you can see, not a huge kit. And I'm going to interrupt with a little rant here. I was on a chat. It might have been Peter's year-end chat, where there were some folks who were okay. Well, I guess I should start off by saying, everybody has their brand loyalty. Everybody has their likes and dislikes, and so on and so forth. But there were a couple of people who seemed to really, have it in for Tamiya, and were making not rude or profanity laced comments or anything like that, but just what I thought were unnecessarily negative comments. And of course, the one comment from the one person was, basically, how the old shake and bake thing, and so anyways, okay, fine, you have your opinion, that's fine, but you don't need to keep going on about it. All kit makers have their thing. Tamiya has some awesome kits, and if you're not looking at Tamiya for some of their kits, then you're just only hurting yourself. And but it's true, especially a lot of the kits like this one. They were produced in the 70s. a lot of them. And some of them are amazing for having been produced at that period of time. And some of them are quite simple. And we have to remember, back then it was like, we're talking about 8-year-olds and 10-year-olds, right? And up. Now they say 14, sometimes they say 12. I guess it depends which country they're in and what the law says. But, I was building models by the time I was 8 years old. And, so with proper supervision and being taught the right safety measures and techniques, which is a good thing to learn, and the earlier you learn it, the better. Then it's 8-year-olds can easily get involved in it. So, anyways, that just kind of peeved me. I guess that's the best way to put it. In that, okay, so if Tamiya doesn't turn your crank, well, fine. If you only think of Tamiya as shake and bake kits, well, you're ignorant. You just don't know. And like I said, you're losing out a lot, by not looking at it. So, anyways, so yeah, this is one of the older kits. I don't know, maybe. I think when I looked it up, it was like maybe 70s. It was mid 70s. Let's see what it says here. Sometimes it'll say on the plastic. They're not real good about putting dates on their stuff. And the box will probably say made in the Philippines. Oh, Tamiya, America. Irvine, California. On the other side is Tamiya, Europe, and 2005 Tamiya, made in the Philippines. So there you go. I think the way it works now with Tamiya is it's about half and half for their production. Half is in the Cebu factory facility that they established, I guess, about a decade ago now, when they started pulling out of Hong Kong, and as production costs went up in Japan as well, so half of the kits, usually the older kits, are produced in the Philippines, and then the newer molds and stuff are produced in Japan, and it's about 50-50 now. So I'm sure anybody who follows the hobby has heard about the new Tamiya 172. Was it F14D? I think that's what's on the box. And I have a friend sending me one as a New Year's gift. Actually, it was supposed to be a Christmas gift, but it didn't arrive in time. Release was somewhat delayed. And so, anyways, but yeah, I'm looking forward to receiving that. Should be here in the next couple weeks. Okay. Get rid of the Hotchkiss fasteners. Okay, so we'll take a look at the parts here first. And we get a single piece body. There we go. Single piece body. There's some nice detail. Doors, access covers for the bonnet or the hood, whatever you want to call it. Nice panel lines on the door. Beautiful molding. Get rid of that. You see that? Beautiful molding. And so this may have been 2005. I can't remember. I should have looked it up on ScaleMates. So yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a few hours to bang it together, and And so it's going to go nicely with the, um, I'll make a little diorama with the Lysander after I build that. So that's nice. Or I can just build it when I feel like building something without getting into some big hairy. And speaking of which, I'm not going to say much right now, but some of you may have noticed that I have a tendency, some might say a bad habit, of starting kits and starting multiple kits and not being very good at finishing kits. So just as a little teaser, there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are in their final stages. So over the next couple weeks, there's going to be some reveals. Okay, and here I like how they do this. It just fits in one piece, no fuss, no muss, and it's virtually impossible to mess the glass up, which is actually flawless. And there's actually a little frosted part at the bottom here. You see that? And it's like there's a little frosted part. Anyways, and then we've got the front windscreen that has the wipers built in. Some don't like that. Some like that. And then there's a couple of headlights. And as I said, everything is perfectly molded, beautifully done. That back, that back. And this would be a great starter kit for a young person or an old person if you've never been in the hobby before. I was surprised and pleased after my heart attack and when I retired how quickly when I started modeling again, how quickly I regained the skills. Okay, so Tamiya does a great job with this. They have an extensive write-up here. It covers both these blocks of paragraphs. And then there's French. Oh no, then there's German, French. That's it. Yeah. So I'll just read a little bit here at the start. Cars with front-wheel drive and monocoque frames were taken for granted today, or are taken for granted today, yet in the 1930s they were groundbreaking innovations. The Citroen 11CV began production in 1934 and introduced these features to a large spectrum of auto consumers. It was commonly called the traction avant, or traction from the French for front-wheel drive, and came in 7CV and 15CV variants, as well as widely produced 11CV. CV refers to chevaux vapeur, a French unit of horsepower used for motor vehicle tax. How interesting, if you're still awake. The 11CV featured a front engine, a front drive system employing an inline 4-cylinder 1900cc. Wow, that was pretty good for back then. 1900cc engine installed longitudinally. With no need for a front or back propeller shaft, the traction we call it a drive shaft here in North America. The traction possessed a ground-hugging cabin and low center of gravity. The solid yet lightweight arc-welded monocoque frame, coupled with front-rear torsion bar suspension, made the traction a smooth and comfortable ride. Faster and more fuel efficient than many cars of the era, and sporting sleek and graceful body styling, the traction became extremely popular as soon as it went on the market. And I grew up in Toronto in the 60s and 70s, and I had a school friend, neighbor, and his father had a Citroen. And of course, we had never really seen anything like that before. And one of the most interesting things was that when the lights were on and you were driving, the lights would turn according to how you were turning the wheel, which was really kind of something back then. Anyways, so here we go. Here we go. We got the bag, and here's the chicken parts, and we'll see how to shake and bake this. So they start off with the wheels. Would you like me to zoom in a little bit more? That may be good. But thank you, folks. Okay, I hope that's all right. Maybe a little bit more. There. Thank you, heater, for that adjustment. Okay, so we've got how to assemble the wheels and painting, and how to attach the wheels, front and rear bumpers, whatever that is. Then we get down to the seats. Very simple, very straightforward stuff. And I'll show you at the end the legend. And then we've got, the steps are simple. They're detailed. That you can, nothing's too teeny tiny. Assembling the headlights. They give you, depending on the version you're building. I guess this would probably be the military one for both German and French. This would be the civilian French one, and whatever. Anyways, they've got it here. This one for A/B version, this one for C, this one for D, and it really just has how you paint them, except for the slit lamp. Okay, and then we've got the front fenders going on, or wings, I guess, as the British call them. And all right, and then we've got how to install the windows, and the rear boot, stuff on there, spare tire, and how to put it on the grill. Again, it's a different grill for different versions. And then basically, the body just goes on top of the frame. Okay, and their paint legend is here. I'm going to pull it back, Steve. German gray, black, white, red, orange, silver. Yeah, so I guess depending on what version you want. Okay, and then here we've got the decaling. Not very complex decaling. So starting at the top, we've got the Luftwaffe, Eastern Front, and then we've got 112th Infantry Engineering Company of the Wehrmacht. And then we got French Army, early World War II, because after Dunkirk, they didn't have any more. The Germans captured them all. And French civilian car, France during World War II. So, different decals. One calls for TS4, which is German gray, or actually two call for TS4 German gray on the outside, and one is olive green, and one is black. There we go. I think I'm going to do it as a black civilian car since it's supposed to be like, although I don't know how to think about that. Okay, they probably wouldn't want to have their cars stand out like they're looking to hide them. Okay. So that's it. I mean, I guess I wouldn't want to pay more than $26 for this, but I'm not sad that that's what I spent. Let's just back it up here. There we go. That's a little better. It is what it is, and it's going to suit my need. And if I get probably 4 hours out of it, including painting, 4 or 5 hours, then that's $5 an hour for entertainment. Plus, I'll be able to use it for the Lysander diorama. So, I mean, overall, I won't go through the whole criteria. I use a 12-point scale that includes the packaging, the box, the sprues, the parts, and the instructions. So, I'm going to give it a 9. I mean, it is what it is, and that's 9 out of 12, which I think is pretty fair. There's nothing really to penalize it for. It's just a very basic little kit, and I have to tell you, I'm really enjoying the 148 stuff. 172 is a bit small sometimes, although I'm enjoying building 172s as well. Although I do get a little shaky sometimes, for the most part I'm fine. And very nice box art. Very nice box art. So I guess you've got the German version of the Lysander here. I don't know, with those spats, I think it might be a captured Lysander. It's funny. I didn't realize that until now. Yeah, I guess it is. Oh no, it's only a one-seater. Maybe two. You could cram two in there. But anyways, with the spats, it looks like a Lysander. That would be funny. Okay. And we'll zoom out. I hope the lighting's okay for you. Actually, I lied a bit. The new hire in the lighting department, he's the son of a local electrician, and so I'm just teasing about all this. Anyways, it's me. It's all me. And I guess you could say I went to an elite school. I didn't feel elite. I went to Colgate University in upstate New York, which is a private university. And I got a very good education there. I worked my ass off, both with labor and with sports. I was a swimmer. And otherwise, my family wouldn't have been able to send me to a school like that. No way. But thanks to scholarships, So enough of that. So we woke up this morning, depending on where you are, to learn that there had been raid, call it that, on Venezuela. A number of military targets were neutralized. Uh, Weapon centers, communication centers, uh, Ministry of Defense buildings and compounds and stuff like that. And they went in and the United States military went in and snatched, actually apprehended. He's under indictment. He's been under indictment for a while, just like Noriega was. Um, anyways, yeah. So they got him. There's some dramatic footage out there. If you, the best one that I saw was from Mimas, who puts out great videos. Most of the people who watch will probably be aware of him. Um, but it was fascinating to see, how pinpoint everything was, which we knew they could do anyways. But not only that, the most dramatic thing for me was seeing those 8 big Chinook helicopters crossing the night sky with gray clouds in the background. And I mean that kind of stuff to me is just epic. And if you're not up on this stuff, the Chinook is a very large helicopter, 2 rotors, and if it's personnel only, they can accommodate and carry up to, well, between 33 and 35, depending on how they're equipped, military operators. And if they really need to, although I don't think they did that here, they can squeeze in 55. Or there's all sorts of configurations they can do. They can put a couple of jeeps in there and a couple of squads. Whatever. Anyways, so Maduro is now back in the United States. He landed in New York somewhere. I'm not sure where. In a commercial airliner. Initially, he was taken to the USS Iwo Jima, which is it's a marine. I can't remember. I can't remember what they call it. It's like an aircraft carrier, but it's for helicopters. But it might also be considered an amphibious assault ship. No, it's not an amphibious assault ship. It's an assault ship. So, anyways, it's the kind of ship that the Marines load up in the choppers and take off from when they're going to do their usually most very effective work. I saw some comments out there about how easy it was. It wasn't easy. They made it look easy, but it wasn't easy. It was a tactical masterpiece. There were no wounded, no killed. One helicopter was struck by fire, but remained flyable and got back safely along with all the rest of them. So it was flawlessly executed, and the only thing I'm going to really toss out there as far as opinion goes, and this applies to a lot of things, is that for a long time, people have just been so conditioned about a flaccid and poorly led military. And now we see what happens when you have a strong, well-led military. So that's all I'm going to say about that. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about President Trump, good and bad, and it's all I'm going to say, well, no, that's all I'm going to say. Okay. Now, on to Iran. We're now into day 8, and people are still taking to the streets, women, a lot of women. And as we saw in Northern Ireland, uh, that ended up in the Good Friday peace, when the women take to the streets, it's over. It's over. And, it may take a little while. And there have been reports that Iran, the IRGC, who are the bad guys, by the way, in case anyone was in any doubt, have flown in jihadists they've sponsored in Iraq. So they're bringing in foreign jihadists who have no empathy or sympathy for the people, unlike what a lot of the police and so forth. Um, so it's going to take a while, and just as with Venezuela, things aren't going to go overnight. Once the regime does fall, and I'm entirely confident that it will, I I can't see any reason. I can't see any reason why it would survive this. Um, President Trump has already said that he will go in there and he will obliterate them. That doesn't mean leveling Tehran. That means going in with the smart bombs, with the precision weapons, and just obliterating all of the IRGC compounds, all the communication centers, all the training grounds, everything. And if people think the U.S. can't do it, they're wrong. And if people think President Trump won't do it, they're wrong. So for there have been uprisings before that have been brutally suppressed, and Obama did nothing, and Biden did nothing, and I think Clinton. I don't think he did anything either when they had one. So meanwhile, here Trump came out right away and said, "We're behind you," and if they start getting too violent with the people, then they're going to go in and that's it. So and if they manage to bring in any of these mercenaries, too many of these mercenaries, well then, I wouldn't want to be flying in that corridor from Iraq to Tehran or anywhere else. But by all accounts, basically the whole country's on fire. It is a huge country, but in all the major cities there are uprisings. The people are taking over. There have been 10 killed so far, the last I heard. Some protesters and some IRGC thugs. Good riddance. But if it's true that these mercenaries are coming in, then I think we can expect that to rise. But the Iranian people, they're past the point of no return. At this point in time, they feel they got nothing to lose, and they also know they've got the backing of the United States and Israel. The Shah has come out and made statements. He's willing to come back and serve at least in an interim role. But all that remains to be determined by the Iranian people. So, if you're interested in more analysis and a bit of backstory, you can go to my other channel, My Take on It, and after October 2023, I started making videos on geopolitical analysis and reporting, and yes, some opinions. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say about it today, and thanks to everybody for joining me. And I think I got 2 subscribers on that other channel, and so I think for now I'm going to keep it like this. If I have something to say, and 99.9% of it will just be reporting. So anyways, I hope people don't mind. And of course, I put the number in the the timestamp, if you're interested in it or if you're not interested in it. So thanks again for joining me. I appreciate everybody's time. gained a few subscribers over the last little while, and I appreciate that. And so, anyways, hope you're all well. And for us here, 2026 is off to a great start. As I mentioned in my other video, we had a bit of a rough start in 2025 for the first 4 months. But after I had the heart procedure, it was all onward and upward. And getting Mickey the cat helped a lot too. So, okay, so that's it. As I said, you can expect some reveal videos over the next week or two. And I hope everybody will stop by and take a look. Bye now.